Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the False Prophets Podcast. I'm Phil Risden.
It's your boy Manny.
And the Twitter house is burning to the ground. What is happening right now?
That's fucking nuts, man. It's
right?
like every time we wake up in the morning, like this is like now, like what was Kanye? You expected something
Exactly.
with Kanye. Now it's like it switched.
Yeah, guys.
All you see is Twitter.
Guys, I promise, like we'll stop doing more and more doomsday stories, as time goes on. Like we sit around thinking like, oh, we're gonna be talking about rappers and dumb shit, but now we end up talking about anti-Semitism and government and economic collapse. We don't know what's gonna happen in these days.
Honestly, man,
it's not our fault. We want to be boring.
Yeah,
we want to be boring and talk about dumb, innocuous shit, but the sky keeps falling. And we don't know what to do about it.
Kid Cudi said it.
Exactly.
But I'm not worried at all.
Do you think Kid Cudi is behind all this?
Yeah, it's definitely Kid Cudi.
Was he the one who sowed ideas of anti-Semitism into Kanye's
That's
brain?
exactly what it was, because it was Kanye that threw the bottle when he was on stage.
Exactly.
In Coachella.
Because they broke up, they split up and everything.
Right.
Yes.
That's
please watch your hands, please. Can you get your hand out of my shot? All right.
Oh man.
We're at the state-of-the-art studio, and you're out here fucking. Oh yeah. Right?
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? Okay. Nah, see, I can only do this. All right, people.
Yeah. There's a lot of drama behind the scenes of False Prophets. We're breaking up. We're it's slowly deteriorating. All because of hands. It started out with hands. Now it's so much more. But yeah, man. I mean, Elon Musk, his whole fucking shit, man. I mean, like, I was behind him getting Twitter and everything.
Right.
And now he's destroying it. And I got to say, I'm also behind that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Twitter is not something that should be around.
It's an app that you just don't give a fuck about.
I don't think
now.
it should live. I hate it. Yeah, I hate the people that are on it. And yes, it has helped a lot of different governments and the people from less, more fascist countries and shit. Yes, it has helped them get liberation in certain cases, or it's helped with certain things that go on in foreign countries. But I do say we cut it off. If there's anything that needs to be canceled, it's fucking Twitter.
It's definitely Twitter.
It's awful.
I'm done with that shit.
I can't stand it. So
I can't. I mean, and then you got like just dumb people just going in there and just talking stupid shit and fucking N-word this and you fucking wet back that, and it's just like, I thought we were just talking about the new Eminem that came out, you know what I mean?
And that was just my mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, let me tell you, there's a lot of incels out there.
It's fucking nuts.
There's a lot of people out there. It's wild. I mean, listen, I do like the idea of everybody having an opinion and everybody being able to talk, but I also hate when everyone has an opinion and when everyone talks. This is the duality of man.
Yeah.
And this is the yin and the yang of America, essentially, where you give everybody the right to free speech, but then they start saying things, and you're like, "Fuck! I wish they didn't say that." Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I personally think it is a lot of drama, though.
Right.
I mean, Twitter's gonna stay around.
It's gonna stay around, and
everybody bullshits like it's going.
It's just
like
so
no,
funny
it's gonna stay around.
Elon Musk was just like, oh yeah, when I get in there, mad shit is gonna change and blah blah blah, and then now he's backpedaling because he thought that he was gonna put some fear into in certain workers at the Twitter office, and I remember there was like I'm gonna send out this email and then you gotta like agree to whatever the terms are.
Some weird shit,
and then like more than half of the people were like, fuck that.
Well,
I'm out.
It was the whole thing was supposed to be like, because a lot of people who were working for Twitter were working remotely.
Yes.
After COVID and everything. So, and they were still doing this, and it was fine and everything under the old regime of Twitter. And then he sent something out with like, all of you who are working remote have to come back into the office now, and your hours have to be like even longer, or you could take 3 months of severance pay. And I think like it was like thousands or at least hundreds of workers for Twitter accepted the 3 months of severance pay instead, leaving, I believe, less than half of the workers that he had. I could be wrong though. It was a large amount.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a very large amount.
Way less than half. Like that's the thing. And then he kind of like backpedaled. He backtracked and like, okay, wait, that's not what I mean.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just like, but I am certain about this, and that.
But
I get it.
I think that's a good thing though, because now this will weed out the people. Like the only people that leaves are the people that share his vision of what Twitter should be. right? Like, did you see they put up a picture, like a selfie of him and all the engineers that stayed?
Yeah,
and they're all just like. They're all like, fat, incel, like tomato sauce on my t-shirt dudes. And it's like, you know what, though? That's who you need. That's who you need to run Twitter.
Yeah. I just saw the picture. And it was
shit
just
posters.
So funny.
It's nothing but shit posters.
Dude, it was like, what is it, like 20 men and like 2 women?
Yeah, there's
and then
some girl.
one of the women was just like,
hey, I'm here.
Yeah, and then one of the women, she was just like on the side, like, man, fuck this. You know what I mean? I still need this job.
Yeah.
It was literally just dorks. Like, probably guys that probably fantasize with this man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, like, that's what you need to have a successful website where everybody gets a say. You need dorks in charge. The problem was they were getting all these people who were like cool or were trying to perceive themselves as cool. Right? All these people who were trying to be leaders. In order to make a place where everybody is equal, you can't have 50 million leaders.
That's true.
You need 50 million people who are who are followers, or at least willing, or at least if they're working for Twitter, you got to have the follower mentality, when you're an engineer, or else you're like, now you're, because if you don't, then it's going to be what Twitter was before, where it's like you have a bunch of fucking engineers in there who think this, and this, and they're like, if this guy doesn't adhere to this, I'm going to just get rid of his shit, Whereas like the people who are now working at Twitter probably are just way more open-minded and just like, yeah, whatever this guy says is what he says, and that's that. Unless he threatens actual violence on somebody, we're not going to take him down.
Did you see?
That's what you need.
I was on TikTok, and somebody said that it was the reasoning with the whole working remote shit that he was like, yo, that's done. It was because there was this one chick on TikTok, and pretty chick and everything. She's like, oh, well, this is me, a day in my life, working at Twitter. And then it's just she's like, I work remote. I go over here for free coffee. I go over here for free food. And like, she's like, sometimes I go to the balcony and do some of the work and the shit. And it was just like they was like that Elon Musk saw this shit. He was like, nah, bitch. Like, that's why he said, like, yo, food now.
I saw that
you have
free
to pay for food.
Which I thought was kind of fucked up. I'm like, yo, like, honestly, you should let them have the free food. I'm a big like proprietor of that type of shit where I think honestly all jobs should have family meal in the same way that restaurants have family meal. Like, and it shouldn't have to be like before your shift or after. It should be like you have your regular lunch, but your lunch should be provided for. If you're because here's the thing, it's like, yes, your job pays you, but you're paying your job in a lot of ways. You're compensating them in plenty of ways. Your work is one thing, but on top of that, just your general time, your commute and all that shit. I feel like your transportation, you know what I mean, and your food should be covered for your job. Yeah. Every employee should have some, and also all these companies get free tax breaks anyway. They're huge, massive conglomerates. We're not talking about mom and pop places. You know what I mean? A mom and pop bodega maybe shouldn't have to pay for some dude's lunch.
Yeah, of course.
But Twitter, Viacom,
and it doesn't need to be something like lobster every day.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean? It's just
burger and fries or
ham sandwiches.
Exactly. Like you have a choice of a turkey sandwich, a burger, a salad, or like something else.
One of my homegirls, in fact, she works for I forgot, someplace over here in Manhattan.
And if you want, you can get your own shit, and it's fine.
But like, this place specifically, like they. Like the food that's there that they sell, it's free for the workers. That's kind of dope,
dude. I've had jobs like that, and what I'm saying is, it does kind of like boost morale in a little way, because it's like a lot of us, and not necessarily for Twitter engineers, those guys are making 6 figures, you know what I mean? But for a lot of people who work, like the money you spend eating food every day takes out a very serious chunk. Out of the income that you're making,
and you're making shit money,
usually, and even if you're having an okay job, let's say an okay job, 25 an hour, that's like okay, you can do pretty well, have some fun with your cash, but not too much. If you get free food along with that 25 an hour, that's helping you get to 27 to 28. That helps out so much. And like I'm saying, it's like you can have something where it's like basic stuff, from you to choose from. And if you want to get this and this, you can buy those. Right. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. No,
I feel like we need to treat each other, like companies need to treat their employees so much better in this country. And you see things like humans. Because it's ridiculous.
Dude, think about it. Like a 40, even 80-hour work week. And then it's like...
It's insane.
It's insane, man. And
after hanging out with Anna,
Go, yeah.
I'm changed.
There you go.
You know, these fucking Spaniards, we need to start doing what they're doing, okay?
Yeah,
these
man.
people take naps in the day.
That's
It's
crazy.
fucking insane.
I would love that shit.
Lazy
Isn't
bastards.
it like somewhere in like France, like they got like wine break or some shit like that?
Probably.
I think, I
Yeah.
remember seeing some shit like that. They got wine break. Like, you
course.
got your lunch, you got your
Yeah.
cigarette break.
A
and
wine
there's
break
also
and
wine
a
break.
fucking eyes wide shut orgy.
Oh, my. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Sacre bleu.
Yeah,
Who's in my butt?
You know, I hear in Greece they actually get a pedophilia break.
Oh, my God.
You know that? Yeah, they sit down for a half hour, do a little philosophy, and start touching some buttholes. You know, hey, whatever helps. Whatever helps. It's good. You know, hey, maybe Twitter would be a hell of a lot more productive if they did that. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
let's get
shit.
to work.
That's funny.
Let's pull ourselves up by our own togas and get to work.
My own token. Oh my gosh, fucking Twitter, man. Like,
I know.
Elon Musk, man. It's like, you know, like with the whole blue check stuff.
Yes.
Like, I kind of like, I was like, this nigga's trying to make his money back.
Yes, he
He
is.
spent $4 billion. He was like, all right, there's gonna be idiots that's gonna pay $20.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think they took the whole blue check off after they.
they're figuring out some sort of shit, but
Yeah.
it seemed like a lot of people were actually buying it.
Oh yeah, they were.
So I don't
It
think
was
they're.
funny.
I don't think they're gonna get away. It is funny
It was funny, man.
because it gave so many idiots legitimacy.
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna lie, my brain was still connected to like blue check matters. So somebody would write something with a blue check, and I'd be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah.
I click on their profile; they have 30 followers.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, what?"
What?
I'm like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking moron."
I forgot what it was. It was like this. It was a certain company that basically someone made like a fake account, and then they were like, "Oh, I guess they said some shit like we're gonna give out free." I think it was someone with medicine. I don't know if it was the EpiPens or some shit, like free EpiPens for everybody, and then their stock just plummeted.
Really?
It went down, bro. And then after that, the real company was like, "This isn't us.
That's
This isn't us.
crazy.
Like, this is the real Twitter account for us, and like we're not doing nothing. You know, medicine is still gonna
Well,
cost
dude,
us
that's
this
why
and
now they're doing that whole like
man,
Elon
that's
Musk
funny.
because he got so pissed about all those parody accounts.
Yeah.
that he was like, you have to say parody in your thing.
Yeah.
and I mean that's kind of fair because a lot of Twitter you don't know what's real and what's not.
Right.
So it's like if something sounds just real enough, you will believe it, and especially because a lot of these people with Twitter accounts are stupid. So you could read a tweet that sounds kind of dumb, but still sounds kind of official.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's really Elon Musk right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, yeah, you're tanking stock for fun.
He's
You know what I mean?
he's saying
have to
put
have
a
it.
parody in the front because he can't go back on his free speech. The shit they said about free speech, he can't go back.
Oh,
so
no.
now he has to. Oh shit, I can't say that. All right, put parody. But again, those idiots aren't gonna do that. They want
yeah.
to fucking destroy the U.S., man.
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys are own citizens trying to destroy this fucking country, bro.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
Using Twitter.
I think people have just
Oh.
had enough with literally everything. I mean, you know, Donald Trump is coming back to run for president in 2024, and I think he still has a good chance of winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think people are just tired. It's like you had him, who he was a total game changer and everything, and then once he had, you know, he was going back up for election again. You know, you thought these Democrats had at least learned something. And we're like, all right, this guy did so much crazy shit that we need to get back in office, but we need to be more concentrated on what we're doing. Then they got back in office, and they still didn't do
They didn't do
anything.
shit.
So it's like, all right, fuck all this. Let it all burn.
Calling out Joe Manchin and
Let it burn.
Yeah, they're not calling
Let
out a
it
lot of bullshit, a
burn.
lot of people, bro. It just makes no fucking
Sweet
sense.
Jesus.
At
let
this
it
point, I don't
burn.
even think I'm gonna vote next.
I don't fucking know,
I'm done,
man. I'm voting for myself.
Yeah,
You know?
where's Harambe?
Yeah.
Put that motherfucker back
Yeah,
on
let's
there.
vote for Harambe, man. Fuck, I don't even know what's
Oh,
happening,
man.
dude. It's really gotten crazy, man.
Right.
It's really gotten to be a lot to deal with, and you know, I just don't know where this country's going, man. I mean, you know, we were watching the Artemis 1 launch to the moon.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you know, if we get sick of this shit in a couple years, we'll at least be able to go over there.
Yeah.
You know, north of the border.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Super north.
Yeah, super
God
north
dang.
of the border. Let's fucking do it.
I hate when we say like, oh yeah, we're gonna be up there. Well, you know damn well black and Spanish people.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're gonna be here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
If you got a couple dollars, maybe they'll give you like a little tiny piece of the moon over. You know what I mean? But like, no, we're not going nowhere.
Well, that's also
We're
why,
staying
like,
right in Bushwick and Brevoort and Bed-Stuy, all that shit.
oh
bro.
yeah, it's
over.
Yeah.
We're gonna burn.
The Negroes are staying in Brevoort.
That's it.
That's what they're saying in a secret meeting. The Negroes are staying in Brevoort.
You hear a constant hum. Bomb.
The Negroes will remain in Brevoort.
They're like the Sith Lord.
The Negroes will remain.
The Negroes shall remain.
That's a fact, bro. Yeah,
no, it's the truth, man. I forgot who was telling me. They was like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna go to the moon." I'm like, "Bitch, no, we not."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, none of that shit is gonna. Like,
Well, I think I've said this before in a stand-up bit. I think it could either be one way or the other. So it's either we're gonna be the ones staying here, or we're gonna be the ones thrown into the fucking outer space on a fucking catapult. We're not even gonna have a shuttle. We're just gonna put every nigga into one giant ass catapult. Get the fuck out of here. Get out. And just see who makes it. You know, like
I
think-
think Looney Tunes type shit.
for real. Like I feel like Mars is gonna be like the new Australia.
Oh my god.
They're gonna put every hood nigga into a shuttle and just force them to settle it.
Oh my.
You know what I mean? Like you
Figure it out.
Yeah,
Like,
you figure
I
it out. Go over there. You're gonna have a couple Zoom classes on how to wear a spacesuit and how to grow some shit. We're gonna teach you on Zoom. Don't worry, we're educating you. We're gonna put some shit on you, throw you
That's
out there,
it.
see what happens.
Catapult, slingshot.
See what happens. And then if anything good comes out of it, you owe us money.
Yeah, right. That's
You know what I mean?
it's gonna be a whole nother thing. The white man's gonna come
Yeah,
and take the
somehow,
land
yeah.
again. But motherfucker, whose land is this? Yeah, we claim it. Like, that's it. Y'all still want to be here?
Yeah, man.
Slavery's gonna come back. You'll see. There's some dumb shit. Is
Some
gonna happen,
crazy
but
shit, I
it's
mean.
the truth, bro. Like this. You know what's funny? With the whole Artemis thing, they're like, hey, yeah, man, like, you know, humans are gonna go there. Supposedly, there's water in the dark side of the moon. So they're trying to like butter everybody up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, there's water.
Yeah.
You know, so you can still make it. You know,
Because low key, they're like, nigga, this shit is trash. They're like, yo, this Earth shit is trash,
Yo,
dog.
isn't the moon constantly getting hit with like meteors and comets and shit? Bro,
I don't know, but it's
death trap.
dusty as fuck. It's dusty as fuck. So that's the fact. So I think that could like be one thing where it's like they're either gonna leave us. It's like, why don't we just put every nigga on the moon? Like that's a fact. Like that's a fact. Like they're like, yo, like not for nothing. Like Earth is going through some shit right now, but it's mad nice. You know what I mean? Like Earth is almost like a bad bitch who's been treated like terrible for mad long. So like, why don't we just like give Earth a little bit of a break? What if there were like half of us still here instead of all of us?
All of us.
You know what I mean? So why don't we just like put them? We'll tell them they're going on some trip or whatever. We'll tell them reparations are right through that door.
Nah, man.
Every nigga can go missing. We'll call it every nigga when they do their tax returns, right? We're gonna send them a private email saying you've now won reparations. Come to this address. Come to this address. And you point and you go, reparations is right through that door, nigga. It's right through here.
It's right. I
It's
swear.
right through here,
I
bro.
swear.
If you open this door, nigga, there's reparations. Bro, there's 40 acres and a mule behind that shit, dog. And you're like, all right, word.
Well, motherfuckers is gonna watch. They're gonna entice people by like fucking building a Popeyes and a Mexican birria taco truck in the moon. All you fucking motherfuckers get out there.
Yeah, right.
The food is there already, and the water's on the on the dark side. That's it. Like, god damn, man. They took a whole Popeyes new chicken sandwich to get everybody to the moon.
Bro, they're going to get Kanye and Pedro Pascal to do PSAs. Try to get niggas out there. Sofia Vergara trying to get
Oh my
Latino niggas
gosh.
out there.
I want to tell you that the moon is the safest place for you. I swear to you. Kanye, tell him. Kanye, go.
Bad Bunny on the fucking intro
Oh
shit
my
telling you how to put your helmet on. This nigga,
Yo, man.
that shit is crazy, bro.
Tell you, bro.
I'm afraid of it. They're going to slingshot every nigga into space. They're clearly going to do that, bro. They're like, why don't we just stay here? They're like, I hear you, I feel you, but why don't we just stay here. And they are there.
You know what's crazy? They started buying land on Mars.
Which is hilarious.
Because
like that shit exists. It's like, nigga, if I go there first, nigga, it's mine.
Bro, it's
mine,
like, it's
dog.
like I'm buying the land, but who the fuck am I giving the money to?
Yeah, who really owns it?
Who is this?
The space Jews, of course.
The space Jews.
Good. Who do you think you owe? The space Gentiles? I don't think so, buddy. How is there a real estate market in space? It doesn't even make sense yet. No one owns it. This is crazy. And yo, nigga, this is the shit that Kanye is talking about. They already built in markets that don't even exist, nigga.
Bro,
how can niggas not own it yet? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man.
Still, you telling me I gotta have an 850 to get an apartment on Mars, nigga? The fuck out of here. Shit isn't even real yet.
You go up there and rent, it's still gonna be fucking expensive as fuck.
It is crazy.
Like, well, where the fuck is this money going? Why am I paying rent?
Can you imagine getting redlined on a red planet? You're like, God damn.
Oh, man.
You're like, yeah, you niggas can't live over here. Can't live over here.
We heard the moon is good.
We heard the moon is popping.
Yeah, dusty ass.
The moon is popping.
And they got a Popeyes.
Like, yo.
The fuck? Yo, fucking space Jews. That's funny.
That is hilarious, man. Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with all this type of shit, bro. But I don't know. It's a very interesting thing seeing, where this country, where this world will be going in the next couple hundred years. I really don't know, because shit is hitting the fan right now. We're in like a very special period.
Yeah.
There's a lot of change going on right now, and it's something that I feel like us, like our generation, we're not really gonna get the full effect of the change. We're just living in it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be until like 100 years later,
years from now,
when like children are learning about this this pivotal period in history.
Yeah.
I think this is like this time, even our generation might be like a failure of what we're trying to accomplish, but I think around this time, within the next 100 years, this is gonna be when we go from like, all our constant infighting to either Doomsday or Star Trek.
I was about to say Star
It's
Wars.
one or the other. It's like the world's either gone or we finally learn to get together and travel through space in harmony. Yeah. It's like in this next 100 years. But in that 100 years, nigga, it's going to be dark and gritty.
It is, man.
It's going to be like Christian Bale's Batman. It's going to be dark and gritty, dog.
And the thing is, like, we are the ones that's going to, like, taste the beginning of it. Like, I think we're like in
we already have 70s. Space Jews.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You see that part of Star Trek? The replicator?
Is that Seinfeld? Like, what the fuck?
He's doing bits in space.
And what about this spaceship food? Like, what?
Who are these Klingons? Who are these
Oh man! Oh shit, man! Nah, man, that's kind of dope though. With the whole Artemis 1 thing, yo, dude, remember? I mean, we was watching it. That shit didn't launch until like damn near 2 a.m.
Yeah, because they had some sort of
the leakage, right?
There's some sort of leakage that they had to sit and like figure out. And that's the thing too, like you know me, I'm like a huge kind of like space NASA nerd. Yeah. Like it's either me watching DJ Academics or that type of shit. Yeah. It's one or the other. The most ignorant shit in the world or the most intelligent shit in the world. And somehow I meet right in the middle.
You gotta keep the
nothing but useless information.
That's true.
But yeah, I would have stayed up if I just hadn't been so fucking tired, bro. It was bad. But no, so it launched. It's doing very, very well. Yeah. And I feel like it still hasn't landed on the moon. It's tracked for like its orbit or whatever that it has to do, setting things up, and then it'll be, I think, officially like touchdown maybe like next week sometime. Yeah. And then after that, they're gonna have Artemis 2, which actually has people on it. Okay. And that's gonna be and they've made a full plan about trying to colonize the moon by 2024.
By 2024.
Yeah, but by colonize, it's not like not regular people with schools,
right? It's just
like a military base, or basically instead of the International Space Station just floating, they would be on the moon, and they're gonna have the space station.
That's what I was gonna say. So they're still gonna have the space station.
They're still gonna have both
orbiting around the moon,
orbiting around the Earth. So they're gonna have the space station orbiting around the Earth. Then they're gonna have the base on the moon then they're also building a new space station because this space station is old and they have to keep doing like repairs and shit. So they're actually making a new one, and the old space station, I'm not sure, they're not sure what's going to happen with it. Like, but this is all in the course of like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
It's not something that's happening like today.
I mean, we're going to see that shit.
No, we are.
That's dope.
And dude, you think about it, like medical shit gets better and better and better.
Yeah.
So it's like, as long as our health is slightly in check and like, and hopefully someday we get some actual real health insurance in this bitch. There is a time where like, we could see some real shit, bro. Like, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I used to, when I was a kid, before going to school every morning, I used to watch that show Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
Yeah.
Right? I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I could end up living into the 22nd century. We're in the 21st century right now, and we're already at 22.
Yeah.
So what is that? We need what? 78 more years?
Can we? Well, if medicine
I'm 31 now.
Yeah.
78 more years. Right, so that's gonna have me be like 101.
Wasn't what? No, you said 78.
Oh yeah,
109.
Oh yeah. I guess yes, you're right. You're right. Sorry.
I thought I was off.
100.
Hey man, if you can live up to like 110.
But I'm saying, I think by then, like by the time we hit like 60 and 70, I think people will be able to live to like 150.
I mean, they have this whole thing that they're trying to discover how to like stop the course of aging.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it was a pill or some shit like that.
Bro, by the time that we get older, like people living to 109, I don't think will be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's why I feel like the age we're living in is such a pivotal time, because it's like, we were talking about that show Ancient Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And how cool that is. And basically that whole show, if you guys haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. It's this guy, he's been on Rogan a couple times, and his whole theory is that there were like ancient civilizations, and especially like one very big ancient civilization that taught a lot of advanced technology, but then some giant cataclysm happened to the earth in general, and that essentially restarted humanity's track on like becoming modernized and shit like that. So
they was talking about
interesting to see where we are.
Specific ancient technology that people had before, comparing it, to like the pyramids and stuff like that. They're saying there's vibrations and that's
vibrations and like computers and stuff that they just don't know how to use, and that's why I feel like right now it's so crazy, because it's like this is our pivotal moment of computers and technology as well. So it's like we get to go farther than what this previous hopefully we get to go farther than this previous generation of human existence is indicated to have gone. I mean, obviously too, these things aren't completely supported in the scientific community
of course
just yet, but it's starting to pile up so much that they are starting to really take these things in and shit, and starting to realize like, oh wow, human beings very possibly had like actual civilizations during the ice age and in like real ways and shit. And
I mean, think about
it,
it's
crazy.
They mentioned like in these stone, what is it, like pictograms, the pictograms and shit like that. Like they always draw out like some sort of like aerial machinery like that looks like a flying saucer. It's like, yo, what the heck? And like, people actually looking up and doing this. And it's just like, yo, like us going to the moon is probably nothing. Like these motherfuckers probably been doing this shit for like, before the whole cataclysmic thing.
Well, dude, that's that's the thing that I think is so that I can't believe you brought that up, because I think that's such an interesting thing to think about, because right now I've started thinking, I'm like, because of what this guy from his documentary is saying, it's like, yo, are these people aliens, or are they just us? And maybe like we did get advanced technology, and then like two parts of humanity like split across. Maybe they're in another dimension or went off to some other place with the advanced technology and expected to come back to Earth, but there was a cataclysm and it destroyed everything. So they're like, all right, let's just stay and build our shit up here.
Exactly.
And now they're just like checking in every once in a while to see when we catch back up to them, so they can finally reach out. Or maybe it's just aliens. You never know.
Right, lizard people.
Maybe it's
They already mentioned
lizard people who obviously are the original Jews. We all know that. Okay.
Well, it
wasn't black people. It was lizard people. It was Donatello, Leonardo, Yeah, lizard people. Master Splinter treating them.
There was but you know what's
Talmud.
more fucking scary? So I think that it's Denver, if I'm not mistaken. Denver International Airport is like one of the biggest airports out there, right? But it's already known that in the Denver airport that there's like bases under the airport.
Really?
There's numerous floors, right?
Wow.
And then supposedly like one of the floors is that scared the shit out of me.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I thought someone was gonna fall.
Yeah. It's just the government trying to assassinate.
Yeah,
you.
it's the lizard people.
He's leaking government secrets. This is why we're here for you guys. We're trying to do this for you. You know what I mean?
Tell mom I love her. Yeah. But, so you know what's crazy is that it's known that one of the floors actually is a military base under the airport. And what's crazy is that there was, again, you know, you find these things on TikTok and Instagram. A guy went over there to just like, you know, like he came from New York, if I'm not mistaken. He went over there just to record the airport, just specifically for that.
Yeah.
And there were
like
posters.
that's not bad enough,
Dude, there was a poster of a giant lizard man with a construction outfit and like jackhammering down. He was like, Denver Airport is getting better and better each and every year. No wonder I have to keep digging a hole just to make the next floor like more astonishing. And then like on the fine print, it was like, your eyes will believe soon. Like some weird shit like that. And the guy was like, you see, I'm telling you, lizard people. Like, okay, imagine, I don't believe in lizard people. I don't want y'all thinking that I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's just, you know, the base
I know
thing.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I believe, you know, going back to that, you never know. They might be hiding on certain bases and stuff like that.
This nigga was reading a children's book. It's like, see, the truth is
you
all
can even scratch and sniff. That's just what the airport smells
I told
like.
you bears can talk. You fucking sheep. And I mean that literally. We're all sheep.
We're all sheep, man. No, but that, yeah, man. That's. I mean, yeah. The whole advanced technology stuff is pretty. You know, I'm a firm believer in that shit, man.
No, I think dude, it makes kind of fucking sense. I mean, because also too, it's not just simply like a random belief. The whole fact is, I mean, they found like tons and tons of artifacts, all over the country or all over the world that don't match up with historians' depiction of how history went. In fact, there's tons and tons of artifacts found in America that basically insinuate that there are people here thousands and thousands of years before we documented, you know, native people first being here, which I think only dates back to like, what was it like? The whole thing right now in history books is it was only like 3,000 or 4,000 years ago that there were any humans on North America, meaning that it was just empty fucking land, not a fucking soul on this entire continent of North America until native people walked across the Bering Strait and stuff like that. But now they found certain things and certain formations of stuff that date back to 20,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago, all sorts of shit. And yeah, I think like we're going full blown conspiracy theory already. Cause I mean, I literally started this conversation by saying that black people will be slingshotted into space, you know, so bear with us guys. All right. We're not exactly getting these things from Newsweek. Okay. But no, I think those things kind of do insinuate that there's something a lot more real going on here, and there were different things going on. Maybe even if it's not like aliens or some shit. I mean, you know, they've talked about how Africa was very close to those places. They've talked about how China was known to go to have gone to like Latin America in like the 11th century. You know, like hundreds of years before there were any like people in the Americas, really, you know what I mean? So that's also been documented. But you got to think, people have been exploring hundreds of years even before then,
of course,
and they have documented maps of people doing this shit hundreds and hundreds of years before then too. So now it's like, and a lot of them talk about like some sort of cataclysm. So I think it was something like maybe all of Earth, because we talk about Pangea and everything. You've brought it up tons of times too. But the whole statement has been it was Pangea with the dinosaurs, maybe, or like when dinosaurs were here as Pangea, something came and split everything up. Right. But what if there were humans also living during that time? Yeah. Maybe like dinosaurs were gone hundreds and thousands of years before then. You know what I mean? or some of their descendants were still around in weird ways, like the dodo bird or whatever the fuck, woolly mammoths and shit, you know. But maybe it was just still one giant landmass, and then this giant cataclysm that they're talking about, and the end of the ice age is what separated everything apart. You know, so maybe that's how there were people in America 50,000 years ago, because back 50,000 years ago, it wasn't America. It was still part of Africa.
Yeah.
You know, it was just one giant landmass. And then it broke off, and people either, you know, learned to survive there, or they died, or they mixed in with other people that they could find, and they left that area, and then a new people came over to that area. Who knows? Who knows?
I agree, man. That's fucking scary.
I know, right? Crazy.
The only thing that we
how did we get here from Elon Musk and Twitter? I love it though. I love it though.
Yeah, I like it, man. No, but the only thing that's, you know, the thing that's crazy is that fuck, wait. Oh, damn, I just had it. No, it's not you. Okay. You know, and it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you said,
we were talking about Pangea, the breaking up, maybe America.
Oh no, because I wanted to add
America.
because you see, so like the gentleman, he's talking about that it was only like one specific ancient apocalypse, but I believe that there was more. Going back to what you said, Ice Age, you know, the whole shit with the dinosaurs. Who knows what the fuck happened with that? You know, let's put even biblical Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
You
well,
know?
they say it was, or that guy is saying that it was essentially simultaneous. So it was a giant cataclysm that affected the entire world at one time.
That's what caused,
and it just destroyed everything. It just destroyed everything. Apparently there was, you know, apparently Atlantis was a giant island, almost like a giant landmass within itself that was a true kingdom and taught a lot of different technologies and things to other people. Maybe it wasn't the full lost civilization that he's talking about, but it was one of them. And yeah, that caused it to be washed away and swallowed up. And this all seemed to have happened within like a day.
That's fucking nuts. Like
it just all happened. Like I was watching one, and he talks about it. The guy, he talks about it on Joe Rogan again too.
Yeah.
Because he was promoting the Netflix series, but he was talking about Bimini Island in the Bahamas and stuff. And Bimini Island is a very, very small island in the Bahamas, but also like off the coast of Florida. Very, very tiny. But during the Ice Age, Bimini Island was a massive island. You know, almost the size of a country in itself. You know what I mean? But because of that, it literally washed away everything. Yes, yeah, and they found these stones.
Oh, that's the one where it was like...
Yeah, and they found the stones with the shit that have been like actually leveled for people to walk on. And people were like, that's just beach rock. And it's like, you're a fucking
and then
idiot.
It was like a certain road also.
Yeah, it was a road.
Yeah,
that's clearly for like ships.
And they measured it.
And like people and shit. It's clearly for like...
That's crazy.
So it's just like, it's very real. And then it's also too, it's one of those things where, you know, I think one thing they don't want to bring it up for is obviously academia. They don't want to have to reteach everybody a bunch of shit. And also, they might not want to say that a bunch of black and Chicano people were actually there as the start of all humanity.
Yeah.
Because if Bimini Islands had all this shit and a hell of technology, who's on the Bahamas now?
There you go,
niggas.
bro.
Okay? Niggas, my friends.
That's what it is, man.
So what are we talking about? Was Atlantis all black? Like
they basically try to say that the only thing, like where education started. I heard this one person say this. Bro.
They don't want us to swim, brother.
Yo, the motherfucker said that education started in North America, and I was just like,
that's fucking insane.
What?
That's fucking insane.
Yo, and these are people that I drive, bro. These are passengers.
That couldn't even be. That's not even remotely true.
The amount of fucking.
I mean, what we considered North America
didn't
even exist, you know, until like, you know, what, the last like 400 or 500 years ago, max. At the very, very max. Let's not talk about like ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and then let's not even talk about how they learned certain things.
I mentioned
which is from Africa and from the Middle East. I mean, the Middle East created algebra, dude.
Like, I mentioned the Age of Enlightenment to this person.
Yeah,
and then they were just like, "Nah."
Yeah, no.
I was just like, "All right." So it's one of those things that I'm just like,
it's like,
how many minutes left till I drop
you off? Like,
7, and I'm just like pushing down a little more. You know, I'm not doing 25. I'm doing like 35 just to get this fucking nut out my car.
Out here, bro.
It probably was a lizard person in the car. Nah, but it's shit like that, bro. Shit like that. People really do believe this. That's what I was gonna try to say earlier. You know, they this guy is saying this right now, and obviously, like, people are calling him crazy, and he's a pseudoscientist and stuff like that. But the reality is, these are the individuals that going back to what you said, they don't want us to know the truth.
Yes.
But then they also just still want to keep us like at a dumbed down stage.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you looking for that information? What's the point of you researching that?
It's
no,
like,
just keep being
we told you
comedian.
what the truth is.
Yeah.
So accept it.
It's just like, no, but I love history. You know, like,
I know what you mean.
You know, like it's.
They don't want us. They don't want us to search for anything.
Nothing.
They don't even want their colleagues to search for anything.
No.
And you see this over and over again. I think this needs to actually. I do think that needs to be a subject that's talked about in kind of all academia, which seems to be whenever somebody has a radical thought,
Right.
They all seem to be punished for it. And this happens in all sorts of sciences and mathematics, as you realize. And I'm no genius myself. I mean, all these people, whether they are having the status quo or they are trying to shake up the whole industry or whatever, can probably think circles around me. But the one trend that I notice is there will be something that's the status quo. There'll be somebody else who has a different theory and a different idea of how things can go. And it has enough reasoning in it to at least garner some attention.
Right.
Not saying it's true, but like, hey, we should maybe look over here for a second. But they just don't, and these people essentially get like laughed out of their grants, and they disappear, or they just get they just get laughed out of the building. I mean, even if they don't get assassinated, let's talk like Nikola Tesla. You know what I mean? Who basically like died penniless in a hotel room that he couldn't afford, and you know what I mean? Just this old decrepit man, found dead under his books and shit. And there's one time where he used to be held as this genius. And the only reason why he wasn't held as a genius anymore was because it wasn't convenient for the people in charge of things to keep letting him go, spouting his ideas and his theories.
I mean, it's going back to like even like just to say recent times now with marijuana. Marijuana was weed. It was always something that was demonized, right?
Exactly.
But
how many
because
they
didn't know how to tax the shit.
Exactly.
So now that they figured a way how to actually like, okay, we can still make money out of this.
Yeah.
Hey, weed is actually good.
Yeah.
You can actually use it for medicinal reasons or just like chill. And now you got your indicas, your sativas, your hybrids.
I think one thing we've learned about academia and like kind of the status quo when it comes to information in this country is that I think the higher ups think the truth is fine as long as we still get to be in charge. Like the truth is fine as long as I still get my piece. If the truth will cause a paradigm shift in what's happening and what's thought of, and my whole foundation is built on what's already happened and what's already been thought of, then there's no need for the truth. I
agree.
And it doesn't matter how smart I am.
I agree.
I think that's one thing that they really, really try to do. I mean, like, I was even watching today on Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix and shit, and they do all sorts of shit, murder mysteries, everything. But they talked about, I believe it was Minnesota or Utah. Michigan. Sorry, Michigan. Right near Lake Michigan and everything. And it's one of the largest UFO sightings in all of American history and possibly just history in general. Right? This is kind of up there with that whole South African school that you told me about. Yeah. This kind of up there with that. They didn't have a personal sighting like that. But there are multiple sightings, and one of them was by a meteorologist who was literally in like a aircraft controller room, documenting it to the local authorities and to his superiors. So there it's not just kids and families seeing lights. There's also a guy with a radar thing. Yeah. Fucking telling you, all right, they're at 5,000 feet. Oh, wow, they went all the way up to 55,000 feet. Oh, they're here. And basically, so you have all these people, and this dude's an expert in meteorology and aircraft shit. So he's knowledgeable at the same time, and it's all matching up. And the only reason, he didn't really say anything years and years ago was because he was told by his job not to say anything. And he was like, I was told that I couldn't do interviews. I couldn't see anybody about it. I couldn't even just discuss it in my personal life and stuff. And he said like the next day he came back from work and everything. Because he did just like casually tell some people like, dude, it's crazy. I saw this shit. And the next day they were like paper mache fucking UFOs in his, in his office, people making fun of him. But then his job really talked to him and they're like, do not say anything about any of this stuff at all. And he was like, dude, I was 20. He was like, I was 29. I just got my dream job as a meteorologist and I didn't want to lose that. And he was like, and I honestly felt they were so serious that I honestly felt that if I did say something,
you're fired.
I would not only lose my job, but they would possibly ruin my career for the rest of my life. And so I didn't say anything. And now he's like retired and stuff. And he's like willing to talk about it and shit. But it's insane.
It's crazy because somebody mentioned, they were like, now, the country is talking about UFOs a lot more, right? Mm-hmm. It's because like at first it was just a joke. It was on TV cartoons and stuff like that. But then now it's kind of like they're kind of just preparing you. There's even an article.
Well, you can't see it now.
No, it's true.
Everyone has a camera.
The craziest thing, there's an article. Mm-hmm. It's online and you can check this shit out. And the article says how to prepare yourself when bumping into an alien or like like being next to one. Like what should I do? And it was just like, okay, whatever happened to like, if there's a tornado, go to the basement or some shit. Now they're talking about this shit. And
bro, we're getting into intergalactic problems, dog.
These are articles, and it's I forgot what magazine, but it's a prominent magazine or newspaper that actually fucking put this shit out. And it's two different companies did that. Yeah. 2 different companies. So it's just like now they're kind of like, okay, the sightings are crazy. I already told you I've seen one on Atlanta.
You have
I've seen many. I've seen 4, but recently I saw one. I'm kidding you not, guys. I seen that shit, and that shit just disappeared out of nowhere. Like I blinked, bro.
I've still never seen one. Your hand is.
Oh my gosh! Oh shit! And you know what's crazy? I went this way because I can do this.
You're like, I swear.
I'm telling you. I'm sorry, but pardon me. I'm telling you, man, it's just so normal now. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, motherfuckers know.
I mean, it's one of those things too. It's like. Yeah, I think we've all been conditioned to. I mean, we've seen enough movies with things that don't look like us, that aren't monsters and fairies and shit, that are from another world.
Right.
So I think that is conditioned us. But I also think it's just something that human beings in life, just inherently believe. Right. I think it's foolish to think that we are the only thing here in a giant universe full of shit. Like that's why I've always, when it comes to like, religion and stuff like that, I've been more spiritual, but I don't really necessarily think that like God sits and like watches people and like dictates what's wrong and what's right. Mm-hmm. I think he just simply exists. And like I think it's just some sort of higher being. I think it just creates things and just goes along, and maybe it checks in, maybe it doesn't. But yeah, it's more just like a random animal walking through the woods. Like the universe is its woods, and the worlds that it creates are its turds. It just roams through the woods and it shits. It makes these things and then it just goes. And maybe it looks and it goes, I'm gonna craft this and I'm gonna do this, or maybe it doesn't. And I think it just happens. Well, there's either life or there's not life. Like. But I think it's arrogant to think that we're just like,
bro,
we made everything for us. It's like, nah.
You'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised of like numerous people. We all think the same thing. Like, okay, maybe our solar system, there's maybe or may not be life. But think about all those galaxies out there.
Yeah, dude, there's tons and tons.
Millions of. Come on, man.
Or the fact of like, this is only one dimension.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they've gotten into like string theory and stuff and have a decent amount of proof that other dimensions do exist and stuff from certain things. So that's also a fact in itself too. So it's like, even if we're just talking about this solar system or this galaxy or this universe, there's a whole nother one.
Yeah.
Right next door, and another one on top of that, and another one on top of that, and another one on top of that. So there has to be life in some sort of existence that is simply outside of us. You know what I mean? In some certain way. I mean, what if it's on some Men in Black shit where like we think we're these big things, but really we're truly microscopic. You know what I mean? And there's something just fucking holding us right now. And it's like, like the end of Men in Black, where it's like a marble, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, really, we're the speck within the speck within the speck of the marble. Yeah. And we don't feel anything. We're being thrown around, We're just like a giant intergalactic anal bead being shoved up some monster's ass. And that
vibrates?
You know, and we're here and we're like, you know, one
man.
day God will come back, and meanwhile we're just up some like weird fucking tentacle monster's ass. You know, helping it come more. You know?
And with that being said, Elon Musk, give us a blue check, please.
Thank you.
I think we deserve
We're
it.
talking nothing but truth out here.
What the fuck?
We are talking nothing but truth out here.
Like, I love when we do this. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, we're gonna talk about this, and that, and then we just like
We don't talk about anything.
we just like this is one of those episodes.
This is
guys.
one of those. We had
I don't
literally
even,
like.
I don't even remember the shit that
I
we were supposed to talk
don't.
about.
We have
It
like
just started
5
with Elon
things
Musk.
and we just threw it away.
Shit, man.
But you know,
No, but
it'd
it
be
is
like that
interesting.
sometimes, man.
It is interesting, man. Like I love the fact. I mean, just motherfuckers is gonna go back to the moon. Elon Musk in 3 weeks, I believe, is about to launch his SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna go straight to I think it's probably another satellite or something.
Okay.
That's gonna go to Mars, and that's
Okay.
gonna be in 3 weeks. I saw it on NASA's YouTube page.
Nice.
So there's a bunch of stuff
You call
that's
it
happening.
NASA?
NASA. I said Nassau because of Long Island.
Yeah, Nassau County.
NASA.
I saw Nassau County's
I said Nassau,
YouTube
right?
page.
I call myself.
wait,
Oh,
what?
wait, what? Nassau. Yeah, man, that shit is dope, though. That shit is dope. I just hope that I'm able to
Islip
see-
has a great space program. Love those guys.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, sorry, go.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I just can't wait to see this type of shit, man.
Yeah, man.
I want to get me a telescope just for that specifically.
I know. I mean, we're in this new space age that is very, very real.
Yeah.
In the sense of like some real shit is just going down, bro. Like, they're trying to colonize the moon. Like, I never thought like the shit that like we as little kids thought was like crazy, like future shit, is now just like what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's really getting there. Like, who is it? I think Dave Chappelle was on Rogan recently, and he was talking about how we really are in the future, and like how our future is almost better than the Jetsons. He's like, the Jetsons didn't even have an iPad.
Hold on, he was on Rogan again?
He was on. It was. I mean, maybe it was an older one or something. It looked very recent though. I saw it in clips and shit. So I don't know. I think it was a couple weeks before. No, I think it was a couple weeks before his SNL thing, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Maybe it was a year ago.
I'm always like on Rogan, but I'm always on Dave Chappelle. I love hearing.
I never really watch Rogan unless it's like clips of somebody really interesting, more maybe talking about like conspiracy alien stuff.
So it probably wasn't. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't.
That's dope.
Yeah. But it was cool. But
that makes sense.
Great
Though.
point.
We are living in like the Jetsons period,
right?
We just don't have like a robot. Well, we're about to have robots. You heard what fucking Tesla is gonna drop like robots and shit.
I mean, they're also doing like prototype, living robots. Have you ever heard about those things? Those man. Like they've like messed around with them. They're microscopic, so they're very, very small. But they're messing with these amoebas and shit that are living.
Oh, nanobites.
Yeah, but they're like they're
nanotech.
But they're actually like fully living and breathing and can reproduce themselves and shit.
Yeah, and they're using it for medicine a lot also.
Yeah, they're gonna use it for medicine and all sorts of different shit. So everything's changing, man. I mean, pretty soon they're gonna be doing commercial flights, like around the world. Like Virgin Intergalactic.
Right.
For a long time. I mean, remember when Lance Bass was supposed to go into space?
Yeah, it
from
was.
NSYNC?
Yeah, I remember that.
They've been talking about this for like decades, man, and they've done some of that stuff like rarely, in certain ways. But now, in the next like 10 years, that stuff's going to be a lot more commercial for a lot more people to do.
Yeah, Virgin. That's the dude, the white guy, right?
Yeah, Richard Branson.
Richard Branson. He had a Virgin Mobile. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, he's gone into space like numerous times.
Yeah, Virgin Mobile, Virgin Records, the whole fucking thing.
All that shit dropped. Do you remember they had a big ass store in Manhattan?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
He sold that shit off, dude.
Oh, everything, bro. This guy's he's
crazy
money.
rich.
This dude is a fucking like a daredevil, man. It's something about him. He always wants to do something crazy.
Well, I think that's what happens. Like
you got that much money,
when you're that much money, and you don't have to be in charge of a company anymore.
Yeah.
So now you're a billionaire, but you're not running Amazon. You can just go anywhere and do anything. Why not shoot myself into space? Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, I already did the things that are cool to do on Earth.
He's the type of guy that wants to experience death but still live.
Exactly.
He just wants to get close.
He's
like,
I'm
pretty
guy.
sure he kind of like chokes himself while jerking off.
Oh, no.
Right when he's blacking out, he's like, not today.
He's the type of guy that hunts another person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for fun. Like he brings him to a mysterious island.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
feeds him and shit.
The deadliest game. You know what I mean? He invites him to
movie. Yeah.
Oh, you know, he invites him to his office, and there's like heads everywhere. Yeah. You know, he's wearing that Jumanji hunter hat, and you know,
with the mustache,
turned up mustache, and he's like, "You have 30 seconds." I'm waiting.
He looks like Jane's father from Tarzan.
Yeah.
Just like that.
The dude's still trying to talk him out of it. He's like, 15.
He has a musket, just get it right.
14.
Puts the powder.
You better get a move on.
Bartholomew! What's my range? 40 yards, sir. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
I told him to run.
I told him to run. Oh, man. Nah, that's crazy, though. But that dude was always like that. I remember he was always like this daredevil motherfucker. But I remember that whole shit because he had some shit planned, like basically saying if I want to go from here to the Philippines, literally instead of you just flying, like, and going straight, they're going to shoot you up. And you're going to kind of like arch. You're going to arch and then you're going to land over there safely.
Yeah.
But they were doing some crazy shit like that. They were like, yeah.
So this was the first minority catapult prototype.
Yes.
So secretly, he's selling tickets to it, but secretly, the government is paying him off. Like, get it higher.
Get it higher.
Get it higher.
Can it make it to the moon?
Richie, we'll slide a couple stacks so you can get it higher. All right.
Hey, Richie. What is that, Richie? Yeah, man. Nah, that's crazy. I remember, like, it was the whole thing. It was a newspaper article, and then I was just like, but how are they gonna land? You know? But it was like, oh, it's gonna be.
They don't.
Oh, they don't.
And that's the game. They don't. It's a one-way ticket.
Yeah, one-way ticket to that dusty ass moon. Oh shit! What else on the dock? I don't even know what we're doing.
I don't know, dude. I hope that I can finally see the day that people get launched over to the moon, and then 20 years later there'll be some sort of one of those lawsuit commercials that you see during the day, like, if you were launched into the moon and now have mesothelioma, please call Celino and Barnes.
You don't have
money for you.
Celino and Barnes and Jerry.
The niggas switched their fucking numbers like 8 times.
They broke up.
They did, and now it's Barnes.
This is Barnes and then it's Celino, but it's so funny because it's still the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like 1-800-777-7777. The other guy has like 3333333.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like you guys
stay together, bro.
That's stupid.
Niggas need to make a documentary about that. I want to know why the band broke up, dog.
Hell yeah.
I want to know why the band broke up.
Big C and Big B.
The behind the
C
music.
and B broke up.
Bro, the behind the music of that. Can you imagine? It's like these old, like, grainy photos of them in the 70s chopping coke together. You know what I mean? And like, back when we were like, I was just doing my like punk lawyering back in like the 70s at CBGB's. And I bump into Barnes and he lets out this injury law riff that I knew he was gonna be gold.
I never heard a tune like that on the guitar. And all you see is Barnes.
I never heard a law statement like that before.
I offered him coke.
Yeah.
And from then on, we started our journey.
Yeah, right. Dude, that'd be so great.
fucking coke and Burning Man and some shit. Oh my god,
that's great.
That's funny, man.
That's great. That's like I might fuck with that as like a sketch or something.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
The Celino and Barnes documentary.
I like it. Damn, man.
Oh man, how long have we been going for?
Over an hour. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because it's already like
over an hour, even with the sound test and everything.
I believe so. I'll tell you. It doesn't matter. But
it doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I gotta make it to dinner anyway.
You gotta make it to dinner. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we should sign off then.
Yeah, let's sign off. Because even though I want to call and just be like, "Hey, did y'all eat yet?" Because if they did, we could keep going. But it's Saturday. I'm pretty beat.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Let's stop giving these people our itinerary.
Yeah, cut all this shit.
Yeah, exactly. No more scheduling talk. We're back, guys.
That's it.
Yeah, guys. So thank you guys for watching the show. We're back. I guess we gotta end the show right now, but we are officially back. I know we've missed a couple of different episodes and shit like that, but we're gonna be here for you. We're gonna be consistent.
That's it.
Because these episodes, I mean, Like it's always a hassle to do, but once we're in it, it's always so fucking fun. You know?
Don't explain to them.
yeah. I mean,
it is fun.
I'm just saying to
Plus,
you, yeah.
And then we got like this new space,
Exactly. It's a new space. It's a good time.
It's a real perfect.
Always
spot.
good times. So we'll see you around, guys. Thank you for watching the False Prophets podcast. I'm Phil Risden.
It's your boy Manny.
And we'll see you later.
Peace.
Peace.